Yeah, my people. Uh, this is Chaco Radio, War Charge Chaco Radio. Some people they think the other way around. They think the other way around. They are expecting war in Africa. This is, you see, the Europeans they're expecting war in Africa, where they've been exploiting uranium in Mali, Burkina Faso, let's say Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger especially, because in every three homes, in every three or five homes in Europe, France or Belgium or one of these European countries, is when power comes from Niger as a whole. People used to say one bob probably in each and every home power comes from Niger. Yes, no, I will put it a home every five home.
van Brussel naar de kust vertragen.
Every five home.
Verder zijn er
The power comes from Africa. Let me reduce the volume. So that's not really the case. That's not the case. Europe is not interested over democracy in Africa. Democracy is not African stuff. Africans are no more politicians like the Europeans or the Americans. No. Politics will not make Africa. You African leaders don't even understand politics. African seniors, I don't think you guys understand what is behind politics. The Europeans, they make policies, diplomacy or politics. They are the masters behind diplomacy. So when they want to say, they say democracy. There is nothing like democracy. Democracy is another level of scam. They've drawn it on the drawing board and they give to Africans to follow. They give to less developed way to follow. This democracy channels their puppet to power. They put in power who they want. So like the situation that is going on in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, these countries, all these countries that military take over. Look, there is the people that want the military to take over to improve their way of life for 60 years plus 63 years. These people are just tired. They are tired of the so-called democracy in Africa. They are tired of the puppet presidents ruled by France. Imagine you are in a farm. You are a worker. You are working in that farm. You have no right to eat from that farm. A big plantation, you work a plantation of corn. But when the harvest season comes, another person come and harvest it all. Then you go around picking the grains to carry home to your family. That's what is going on in Africa. Uranium, all Europe, gold, Europe. France is saying that the fourth largest producers of gold. Do they have a single gold mine? France doesn't have. They tap from Africa. France tapped from the 14 countries in Africa. See, gold mine. Ghana used to be known as gold mine. Where has the gun gone to? See, the queen or the king, King Charles, the newly crowned King Charles, when he was taking over, he wrote in a 16th century or 18th century or what or 19th century, I don't really know, I don't remember the chariot that he wrote in it. All was made out of gold. It's not that it was spray. No. Everything, that thing is heavy. You know, before that horse that tows that thing, that tow that chariot could come out, they've practiced it. If that horse, that power could pull that thing up. The gold all came from Gold Coast. That's Ghana. Ghana in the days behind, you could walk at the side of the road, you will pick gold. But the Europeans, British, they cut everything. Their museum is full of stuff from Africa. Every year you're saying museum, you are not able to keep your own stuff. What they looted from Africa, and they're telling Africans, we will not give back your treasures because you don't know where to keep it. You kill Africans, you kill my forefathers, you kill my parents, my ancestors, and gather their wealth, loot them. Crush my ancestors and loot their property. Today you say give it back, you say you cannot give. Even when they've come to the negotiator of giving out this thing, do you know what they do? They'll go to their museum, they'll pick but one little powers, one little stuffs, and send back to Africa. This is what that is really there. We are tired of all these stuffs. Yes, as I was talking, France, they say it produce nothing. You see, more things come from Africa. You see, British will say, there is a tea estate in Britain. They say Yorkshire tea. They say made in Yorkshire. Those tea come from elsewhere in the world. They come from Africa. But when they reach Britain, they bottle and they say Yorkshire tea. What tea? No tea farm, not in Britain. Many things. Chocolate, everything they will just say chocolate made in Yorkshire or whatever. They don't come from Yorkshire. Those things, the cocoa beans come from Africa, come from Latin America. But they turn it all the way around. They produce gold. You see, have you been to British Museum even in Europe? Have you been to France? Have you been to all these countries? You see, most of their treasures come from Africa free. For example, King Leopold of Belgium that killed 10 million Congolese. Just Congolese, he killed 10 million. And the man name, they don't want to put it in a Guinness Book of Record or as the most killer, they put Hitler for one reason or other. And in the days of Hitler, Hitler did not even kill just, they say, the Jews, the white Jews. No. He killed plus the blacks. In the 18th century, there used to be more blacks in Germany. There used to be many blacks in Germany. But during the reign of Hitler, they used these blacks as guinea pigs, as laboratory tests. Today, they are saying, oh, just the Jews were killed. No, let's go the other way. Where were the blacks in this country? Germany killed more blacks. Argentina, today you can't find a single black, for example, in the Argentina national team. That's one of the most racist places in the world. Racist country in the world. In their national team, you will not find no blacks. These are people that the blacks in this country work for work. They work everything, and they use the blacks to go fight in the war front. They use the blacks to fight for war so that they fought their wars. And those blacks, they died. They inject those blacks with many type of injections, diseases. They died. And people don't know about this history. How Argentina treated the blacks. Argentina has got blacks, but with a limited percent because they've killed all the blacks. These are racist countries in the world. People don't know. You come to Liverpool. People support this Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool Football Club, that club was built from the slave money. Slave trading. That's the money they use. They invest in that club, that football club. So Africans are supporting this club. There's a club your ancestors work for. They build that club. They sold them. They work for that club. More Europe. They want to say your ancestors work for this country. So we should understand how the whole thing is like. People really don't understand what they're saying. You say war in Africa. That war is Africa. You see, you think Europe, they say, no, let's follow democracy. There is nothing like democracy. You don't understand democracy. Democracy is a way the Europeans use to let the ends meet. Therefore, they want to channel the resources from Africa. They will say, they will put their puppet president, put the president that they can dictate to. For example, Tinubu in Nigeria, he got a criminal record. So the Americans, the CIA, and all the British spies team, and whatever spy team, MI5, that's the British spy team, and the Americans, CIA, and all the European or the Belgian, all of the European spy teams, they work in collaboration, so they know who they want to put. So if they get drug lots like Tinubu that have done something before, they use him now as a puppet to do their dirty job. Okay, see Ouattara in Ouattara. Let's go to Ouattara in Ivory Coast. Ouattara. What was Ouattara's case? That there was no democracy in this place, and he put Gbagbo in prison and came to prison. After 10 years again, he could not go down, he contested. And that's what the other person wanted to do. The other person was not the case about democracy. It's just because Gbagbo said, we can't be farming our cocoa, then you, France, you are the one putting the price on these products. At one point, Gbagbo was going against against the French interests. That's why they put him down. The same thing that happened in Chad. When the president in Chad started going against French interests, he was killed and his son was brought up. So that's how it is France. France sponsors coups in Africa. The history of Africa, the French countries, look at it. France has been killing oppositions, killing the presidents, replacing whoever they want. But they will tell you, nobody talks about it. You see, now in Niger, in Burkina Faso, when a military has come up, supported by the people, they say, no, they want democracy. You see, the other day, I was so surprised it's not really a surprise anyway, because we know France and Europe, they have been playing this way, or America playing to put their interests first. So when they had the meeting, the British of presidents, they say ECOWAS meeting, they want to look a way that they will look to restore the president in the president that came out from power in Niger. Mohamed Bazoum, they call him what? I would say no. They were looking for a way. You see, the Europeans, they were gathered in one conference room. You thought that TCV was in Europe. It was the Europeans. It was the boss of bosses. It was their interest they were looking for. Do you think they care less about these people? Ivory Coast was the first one to pledge 1,800. Before Tinubu, they've convinced the place. Nigeria doesn't support war. None of these African countries support war because they know that's the way France or Europe or the West want to use it. Now exploit their raw materials, bring in weapons, sponsor war. Before you know it, will be like Libya. Before you know it, will be like Iraq. That's the same way. That's how West operate. Create wars, create miseries. When you're dying, they exploit you. Then they come with it. You see, they said they were cutting it in Burkina Faso, cutting it in Niger. How much is the it? That's 165 million they give yearly to that country. 165 million. It's nothing compared to the billions that is being poured in Ukraine. 165 million as aid in that country to make that country function. Their aid has been coming to this country and this country, yet they are poor. They are a very poor country, as you can manage. You can understand. So what will you take aid? What will you take money that will make you poor? Why will you be taking that type of money? That's why the president today of Africa, you had the man of the year, probably the man of the year is President Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, the same age with Thomas Sankara, who said the generation are asking the question, why are we so rich? Yet we are poor. Where are the resources going to? Why are Africans dying when they are crossing the sea? They are crossing the sea or they're taking the ocean to Europe. Why are they dying? And they have everything. You see, the point is there is no light in Niger, no all the sites. But they supply uranium to France. And you know how much they buy it? France buy that uranium at a cheap rate. And there is a deal between France and these countries and these 14 African nations. And these nations, France tap no less than $500 billion yearly from their economy. This country bank their wages. A part of that, they bank all their money. France print their money. So 85% of their worth, they bank it in France. Jange, they bank it in France. They stay with 15% to manage the economy. With that 15%, they have another corrupt politician that would loot this money back to Europe. This is the whole case that is found. Then how do you say about this? How do you account about this? Then go in again. What do you say? If you want to borrow your money, you have no water. Most of these countries, they got no water. They got no investment. They even have no gold reserve or anything they will go and take. France own the gold reserve in their country. They can't exploit their own gold. That's the point. Any gold or anything underneath the soil or above the soil is owned by France in these 14 nations. So that's the irony. Then if you want to borrow the money you bank in France, say you are saving your money in French bank. You want to borrow money. You have to pay 20%. You have to borrow just 20% of that money and pay with interest. My people, do you understand what is there? Your own money. You have to pay France to get back that money. Then the France then control your politics. In your parliament, they have a recording of what is going on in your parliament. Therefore, you're in a bedroom, you're sleeping with your wife. Somebody knows everything about your bedroom. He knows everything, which food you are eating. That's exactly what is happening. So with the position that African is taking, is the motive for the rest of Africa, the French countries, especially where they have this dilemma, or they have this devil called France, to come on board, seize the power. This is the same thing is existing. Do you know Ambazonia? I come from Ambazonia, that's the southern Cameroons. Between Nigeria and Cameroon, one of the two Cameroons that came together as two equal partners to form a nation. Therefore, there was in the 60s, in the 1961, Southern Cameroons, Aka Ambazonia, gained the independence. So while La République Cameroon in the 1960s had their own before. So the Southern Cameroons had their own 1961. That's the 1st of October. So then came together as two partners. They say you must unite together. They came together, but you remember, the French countries don't have any independence. Whatever they give them as independence is not independence. It's just a game. So when they came together, one side has been dominating the other side. The French one has been dominating the English one, Aka Ambazonia. For example, 50,000 people in the 7-year war, 50,000 Ambazonians are dead. In that 50,000, you know what is happening? The British are tapping gas from the ocean, from Ambazonian soil. They don't complain about human rights, how La République is killing people in southern Cameroon and southern Cameroon or Aka Ambazonia. The France is tapping oil from Bakassi, the portion owned by southern Cameroon and Indian. Oil is being taken, crude oil is being looted in that Gulf of Guinea. Nobody complains about it. La République, the president has been in country for the last 40 plus years. He has been a statesman for 65 years. Nobody complain about it. Today, a simple coup d'etat because one president is being taken out from power. That is the Western puppet. Then the military came from, supported by own people and said, no, go back home, don't tap from my soil. You know what French did? French even bombed the prison that terrorists were being held. At one point, when the Niger military want to fight the terrorists, the president will hold them back and say, don't fight them. That France have said, don't fight them. What does that mean? It means they empower the terrorists. They just create confusion in the Sahara region. That's what the West do. They create region. In that West, they got American air base. He has spent $105 million in that place. They say the air drone base is there. The drone base. You have a Canadian base is there, just a military. Probably Italian base is there. French base is there. British, all of the European base are there in that region. What are they doing in that region? The Sahara region. Imagine they hold all their military base in that place. They are telling you that what is found underneath is untalkable. And they are harvesting. They give no account. What they take from this place, they don't give account of what. They don't measure, they don't weigh the quantity of product, the quantity of raw material they take from this place. They just exploit it to Europe. That's the whole story. And that's the truth. And who you dare not talk about it, you will be silenced. So it come a time where the Africans say enough is enough. The military say enough is enough. France, get the hell out from our land. France don't want to go. They say they will die. They are no more in Europe. In Europe, they tell you go back to your country. Then in Africa, they come again, they say they don't want to go back. Confused set of people. And these people call themselves rich. They are not rich because they exploit from Africa. You can't be counting yourself fourth gold producer in the world. Producer in the world, do you have a gold mine? France doesn't have one single gold mine. Yeah, even the power electricity is from Africa, and for Africa, they stay poor until they are dying. See, this is World Church Charcoal Radio. Enjoy my channel. Just subscribe there and get more story from this one next time. Thank you.